I should be going live now, finally. I mean, it's just me being 5 minutes late to my own stream start. But I only scheduled the stream very late, so whatever. Come on, connect. I think I'm very weirdly offset today. Let's just check that. No, not too much. Fixed. Well then. So. I think I'm happy with that. Well. Let's just, I think launch into ACC, I would say. I haven't been actually able to finish the scoring plugin. I haven't been able to finish because I wanted to actually do this race here, specifically set up and we have the advantage that race 1 is a 10-minute race, so I can just run that one for like my telemetry collecting. So I can just use that, which makes, you know, the progress a bit easier. So let's see, can I find the fucking server, because... Okay, there is the event. I just forgot to copy the password over like an idiot. Well, okay, not a big problem. But yeah, we have a 10-minute race 1, which makes it relatively easy for us to actually like commit to like one of the races. To just record the data for one of the races. Alright, I'm still it's wingman. I had to steer the race this week. Funnily enough. Not too many people on the server actually. Temperatures are decently high, maybe we want to open the brake ducts up. Brake pad 1 should be good. Ooh, those TC areas. Hey, how are you doing? Great, awesome. Have you driven it already? I assume. Or you haven't set it up yet. I don't want to be possible. I'm just noticing the setup is slightly asymmetric. I might need to take the asymmetry out of it. So yeah, I've tried it. Something I fear. DD is just... Challenge is happy enough with it though. Okay. Why? Like, this aggressive preset that I'm going here for right now is like, we have a bump stop range of 1. Okay, fine. On the front left, it's very low, but like, okay. We have on the front right 2. Why? Like, come on, no. Stop. Get some help. Bump stop range of 5 helps. Rear, get that shit up to like 25. I think that's way too low where it starts off here. Also, the suspension is incredibly soft. Let's just stiffen this slightly up. It's not on the soft side. I mean, you actually have quite a few suspension steps on this car. I don't really need. It's, yeah, I mean, the pedals. I mean, you don't have the load circuit, so it's like pedals should be. I mean, yeah, you're going from G29, but like, so pedals will be slightly heavier, but still, that should be not too much difference in terms of like how much they want to like rip loose or something like that. I mean, if you hadn't mounted them, they most like you could probably drive with those CSL pedals without mounting them. Similarly to how you could use that with a Logitech. Although the Logitech you have the carpet clamp, but I mean for me who has raced on a floor that doesn't have carpet, wood floor, like there's probably no difference in that sense. I get going from driving fast, right? But that's still, yeah, right. There's probably still a decent amount of difference in terms of how heavy the pedal is. Right. I think the area settings on this car look sensible enough. Well then, let's jump off the jacks and actually start driving so I can switch my camera perspective finally. When was the last time I drove this car? But the bigger question is like actually how the wheel deck held up to the DD wheel. It's definitely, I mean, I was generally referring to like how heavy it was to press the pedals down, how likely they were to anyway try to flee away. But I mean, pedals in general, like, I don't know how they are mounted on the playseat. Are they like strapped down with like Velcro straps, aren't they? Or something like that. Something weird. Because if they screw it in, like, pedals never flee. Like, you could probably mount pedals of like screwing one of the two holes in and they would still not try to flee away. Like, this stuff is like, they will never flee. That's from my experience with the T3PAs and the T-LCMs. Ah yeah, big Velcro strap, yeah, it's an interesting mounting system, but apparently it is working good enough. Somebody is painfully driving the bloody old Nissan. Because this has to be noted, like 2015 Nissan is absolute garbage. Although he is faster than me, we have to note that. And the fastest time is a 44.0. So that's not too bad. Definitely not something that I'm most likely gonna achieve in my car. Although I know that if I had picked the 488 non-EVA, I would have gone that fast. I know that I can do that on race pace. Because I've literally done it. But yeah, as I asked, like, how does the deck hold up against the DD? I mean, I'm pretty sure it creaks less than my rig. Load, but like still, probably flexes more. OLEDs. The little OLED screen. Is there there isn't one, as far as I know, there is not no OLED screen on the CSL DD, or do you mean the OLED screen on the LCD screen on the McLaren rim? Okay. Well then. Let's hope it doesn't and you didn't just curse it. I mean, as a VR person, like I've seen recently like videos about like LCD screen accessories, and it's just like, yeah, sure, but like it's completely useless for me. Like these 47s. Yikes, I'm the slowest. And there's actually a Reiter driver who's about 2 seconds up the road from me. So I guess I have a target time there. Ooh. I've done it too many times. Ah, I see. Yeah, I haven't actually had like comfort issues really. I've used, honestly I haven't used that many. I've used the Windows Mixed Reality before my index. I mean, it was for sure less comfortable, but I was still using it for hours on end. I guess in some ways I'm built differently. Oh, that was not the idea. I was nearly close, actually. I'm getting actually close to the other guy. This was a massive improvement, this lap. Wasn't necessary. I'm pretty sure there were more writers actually signed up than one more. I mean, we are only like 15 or so out of the 25 that have signed up. This is anime feel differently. Yeah, I mean, I've done like 24-hour races, not solo obviously, not that insane. I competed in 24-hour races using the headsets when I still had like a 1060. Which maybe got a half decent frame rate. Like, my frame rate in a lot of games was not a given prior to me upgrading my computer. Like, I'm used to the frame rate dipping. And the pressures are a bit low. Apparently I went a bit overboard in terms of reducing the pressures in an attempt to prevent overheating of the tires. Because apparently the track was actually not that warm. I've personally not touched FSR. Not sure if it works even with VR. But I am running already like extra resolution with my headset, so it's like I'm rendering at a higher resolution than the actual output resolution. I can definitely see it's helping in certain situations. thinking of it. I mean, the thing is, I also don't use FSR because when I play actually things on a flat screen, I still have a very old 1080p 60Hz panel. So, and I have a RX 6800, so running anything at 1080p is like no issue. I've played through the Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, so with heavy ray tracing, which I have an AMD card, they aren't that great with ray tracing. And yeah, that worked perfectly. But obviously that's because I ran it at 1080p. Granted, it did at areas drop, but like, you can totally play Metro like that. It's Metro after all. Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched graphic settings in general like in a while. It's just, it works right now, so I haven't touched it. Like I can probably gain performance and everything, and the thing, obviously FSR can do really good things for VR because you want actually extra sharpness. So the sharpness filter is like very welcome in there. Because I'm running already ACC with extra sharpness and everything. 5500 XT, okay. Yeah. I mean, I saw today a review of the 57 hardware unboxed, to a revisit of the 5700 XT and how that GPU is still beating like the NVIDIA RTX 3060 handily. Like, I was considering buying a 5700 XT, but like, well, you couldn't get them. They were just like, you could get them, I think, sort of, but like they were expensive. They were too much over MSRP for me to consider, so I left off of them, and then I just went like, okay, a few months later, okay, I'm gonna buy. If I'm gonna spend over MSRP, I might as well go for an RX 6800. Yeah, I don't know too much about the 5500 XT. No, the 5700 XT is a really good GPU. I mean, I don't even know how well the like AMD encoder works, because I just use CPU encoding on my streams. Just CPU encode, because I have the CPU horsepower to just do that. But yeah, if you're streaming and everything, then having to keep the frame rate up to run some FSR. I mean, it doesn't matter for the stream because, well, the bitrate is probably gonna eat more detail than the FSR is gonna extra provide. And really, the thing is, with actually stream quality, what you're watching is not 1080p footage actually. What you're watching is 900p footage upscaled to 1080p. And that with a like simple bilinear, I think, filter in OBS. Because I run the game actually in desktop mode and in a 900p window, so the capture of it is only 900p. So what is on my stream actually is only 900p footage upscaled. It would be kind of cool if they had like an FSR plugin for OBS, so I could just upscale my footage into the OBS. That would be really neat. Because there's also like a really good reason to actually upscale, because you want because the better bit rates on higher resolutions. So having higher resolutions they are pretty useful. Should perhaps invest in like a 1440p monitor just so I can have a 1080p desktop window. It's just too unpractical to really run full screen with VR. Especially if you need to like get the desktop and stuff like that. Like if you're not running in VR, obviously there's still an advantage from running windowed, but you have also the disadvantage that your screen real estate isn't used fully. Right, then I should probably fix my tire pressures. Oh, the line is actually very late. I lifted off too early. I lifted actually off too early. Yeah. Didn't matter. We're only 12 people. That's actually pretty sad. And yeah, as I predicted, actually, a Ferrari's in provisional pole position. I'm the fastest Reiter, but there's actually a Jag that is faster than me. Jesus. I know the Jag can be competitive against the Reiter at like Monza, for example, roughly. But damn, I didn't expect it to be actually like quicker than it. Okay, well done. We need to... front right tire was roughly actually there. We need about 0.6 there. Rear right, full PSI. There's just no way around it. Probably even more. Rear left, also full PSI with a bit more. Front right, I think precisely a PSI. Right. Okay then. Handling the wise, the car was roughly there, I would say. Could perhaps take a click out the rear wing, and that's about it. No briefing tonight, 20-minute qualifying with a 10-minute sprint race for a 40-minute feature race. No pit stops, enjoy. Thank you very much. How long do we have left right now? Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. I mean, really the biggest issue on this track for the car is that one bend there. Otherwise, the default setup is really solid, I would say. Although, I mean, I altered like a bunch of things before I drove it out because I immediately saw them as wrong. Yeah, that guy's about a second per lap faster than me. And I mean, yeah, this track does not quite suit the Reiter, I would say, completely. Doesn't suit the Reiter like a Monza does. This track is surprisingly like a medium speed more than you would expect. I mean, heck, the Maserati is pretty decent on this circuit. The Maserati is a strong car on the circuit, which gives an idea of like what the circuit really caters towards, because it's really only this front stretch that has like any length. It's a very long one for sure, but otherwise you have mainly corners on the circuit. Okay, the car is quite a bit looser, I would say, from that one click of rear wing. But not particularly much change in terms of pace. There's some lift off oversteer I'm getting. Like, not really lift off, but like off throttle oversteer. That would be the better description. Car's rotating when I'm... stops rotating when I step on the throttle, which is neat, I guess. But also not. Yeah, I mean, I'm currently 2 seconds off provisional pole position. And very much in the midfield. Applied the throttle too early there. I really like Imola in all honesty. It's a really nice circuit. I've genuinely enjoyed the circuit, like across multiple games, but across multiple like classes of cars. Like LMP2s are nice to drive here. Lapping is perhaps not that easy. GT3s are nice to drive. GT4s are nice to drive as well. Ah, lost a lot of time there in the chicane. Yeah, pressures are roughly there. Starting to be there. But don't miss the corner completely. I just finished the lap briefly. Let's see what we actually get for the qualifying session in terms of conditions. Yes, thank you, session over, I know. Well, there's one car going still. Ah, he's driving slowly there. Well, he's torturing himself with the 650S. Really not a good car in my opinion. Like, genuinely, I think the 650S is like one of the worst cars in the game. I was saying something when the Reiter accuses the car of being worse. I don't know how much fuel consumption I had. Don't want to run. Oh, I just noticed something. I was on ECU map 4. Huh? I'm pretty sure on the Reiter ECU map 4 is a safety car mix. And that was configured in my setup. Now that's sus. Because if I'm going on the safety car mix, like, that quick, oh, this is gonna get fun. Because genuinely, my laptop's run that shit, honestly. Like, my laptop's run that shit. What I'm really confused with is, like, really this. What did I launch? Oh yeah, I wanted to open the sheet about what is what. Let me just briefly reload the aggressive preset. Yep, it comes with easier map 4. Oh god, the fucking setup is broken on like every level because I'm very sure of the car that where's my folder here? No, that's the wrong folder. I want the other folder that I literally fucking just opened. Okay. ACC seat stuff. Open the ECU map chart. Thank you very much. Okay. I think they're not quite alphabetically sorted. Yeah, because it's in with the Audi at the bottom is like thanks but no thanks in this sense. Lexus, Nissan, Jack, Rex. Yep. It's not a safety car mix. Okay, that's why it's. That's why I was like halfway competitive. Obviously, mix 1 fastest, mix 2 a bit slower, normal fuel consumption, ideal. Normal fuel consumption, aggressive throttle, and then identical. So mix 3 is then also normal fuel consumption with progressive throttle map, and then 4 is less fuel consumption with progressive throttle map like 3. So effectively, I was just driving on a lower, went from a Qualy to like a race mixture, which is not too bad, all things considered. That's why like my lap times were sort of still there where they needed to be. But that means we have a bit of free pace in there that we can get now. Taking the fuel out, we're gonna fucking go for some laps, mate. I mean, we're not gonna put the car on pole, but it's unfortunate how few people actually wanted to turn up for this. But there's like, I'm pretty sure there were like 40 slots available something, and 24 were still free when the server started, which is not too bad. But like, that then basically nobody that signed up turns actually up is very frustrating to say the least. Like, come on guys. They're very fun cars. You can drive a 48, it's not a bad car on the circuit specifically. Sometimes you don't understand people. And I think it's heading into summer. I'm seeing a bunch of enduros where they're like, they can't escape like 10 car grids. They barely get 10 cars together. There's like a serious summer drought going on. There's a lot of events being hosted, but it's just there's no one to drive them. Really. You have still some of the events that get like 30 car grids, but obviously things like GT4 are completely dead then, if they had to be multi-class. Unfortunately enough. I mean, I have my eye on like a 6-hour race at Kyalami next week that would feature GT4. But unfortunately, like, it doesn't seem like I might not even get... Like, I might be able to drive that event. But more likely in GT3. And that guy wanted to drive an Audi Evo 2 and not just drive a Porsche. Which is obviously decal for Kyalami. Porsche is known to be pretty good at that, but it's like, oh, it's a Porsche, so it's difficult. It's like, yes. But also no. As long as you don't make completely stupid setups on the Porsche, it's not that difficult to drive. But then again, that's me. Saying the Reiter's like one of the easiest cars in the game to drive. I do think it is a relatively easy car to drive because it forgives you in a lot of ways. And it responds really well to setup changes. Despite that it can act like a freaking brick at times. High pressure out front high. I'm slightly short on fuel for this fuel run. 43.6! Fuck! I was not intentionally driving on mixture 4! I mean, I'm sure people are gonna, because this is the first lap of me, although people have actually gotten a few more laps in, but who knows, maybe some people have invalidated the good guys. Still, I'm probably giving a bunch of people heart attacks with that message. I guess the Reiter's pretty good on this circuit. Actually, I have been demoted by the Ferrari deck down. How much? 6/10. Okay, he was like 43 flat in. Well, apparently my straight line speed is good enough on this circuit, maybe. If I don't mess up everything. That first lap was pretty good. Don't think I can get like half a second out of it, but a few more tenths. Prevent more position drops from when the other guys finally decide to put decent laps in. A lot of understeer there. I'm driving worse, I think, at this point. Making genuine, like, awful lines and awful mistakes. Yep, sloppy. was a terrible line out of the corner. Oh, that's too wide. Yep, that was too wide. Usually switch to mix 4 so we save enough fuel. Because the car seems really fast, right? The tires seem fast and everything. So I'm gonna go for the final attempt. That was not a good exit. Line. Brakes a bit late. Not as good as last time. My exit still out of that corner is terrible. Thank you, finally. Too fast, too fast. So, let's try another time. Nobody has really improved at all. Let's see if we can actually improve on our lap time. Or not. Most likely not. Actually, we did show that our halfway around the lap that we could improve by 2/10. Although I don't think, compared to the Maserati, I don't think getting that close is gonna be enough to beat our opponent in the race. I think that Ferrari is just too fast. So 4 minutes 30 on the clock. It should be 3 laps or so. And overshot immediately. This is completely a burner lap. I could try further rearwards brake bias.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
Oh, we have been demoted actually to P3. Oh, fuck. So I'm now in clear. But yeah, Richards has displaced us. So we need actually the 2 tents that I found one time to get back by the MUQU. MUQU versus Reiter Engineering. As if it doesn't matter too much. Although being on the front row of the Reiter is gonna be pretty neat. I don't think I've done that before. Actually, I have done. In a 2-car grid race. At Brands. Oh, we're closing a bit fast up on the cars in front. Too much curbing now. But smoother run for the kink. Oh, complete apex miss. Squirrely on the throttle. No time gains. Late on the throttle there, again. Not enough. But we can actually go to gamble the guy. I'm not closing that fast in on the guy. Oh, curse, like I just cannot improve over that lava. It's just so funny. So funny to me. Oh, I just cannot improve. Oh, missed the apex there. Still, my exits there are terrible. I just cannot go for good exit right now. Not as fast of an exit as I wanted to. And that was a cut. That's lap over. Right, then we actually need a race fuel on the car. First race is 10 minutes. We're lapping down to 43 O's. +1. Restore. 10 minutes divided by memory recall. Okay, it's about 6 laps or so. We need actually probably a formation lap. Let's take 8. Actually, we don't need a full formation lap. That's 3.35 roughly, I think. 28 liters for this. Okay. 40 divided by memory recall. It's 24 laps. 24. 6 times 3.5. 91, okay. Just store the 91 over there. So we don't forget it. It's 28, I think. Temperature still the same. Well then. Yeah, 28. So, and we wanna enable SimHub logging. Where's my SimHub? So, record. We don't want a screen. We're just gonna record like this. So,
30 seconds.
Hello cursor, could I kindly have you back? So, there. So, car's ready, set and go. I have my telemetry recording. And I hope it happens on this track.
Going double
Well
5.
pronounced enough. But this track is a very long hold actually. Start occurs at the starting line, not the finish line. Which is far further up the road.
Green line. Give it all you got. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
So MUQU was able to jump the Ferrari, but that was about it. I'm now under threat from a MUQU behind already. Missed the chicane up. Fortunately, these guys seem to be just about dragging away right now, despite them not holding each other up enough for me. The MUQU behind is very actively engaging me. Damn, how much time I lost in the last two corners. Ferrari out of shape there. Shouldn't go for like moves like that because it costs me only a lot of time. Oh, again. The advantage is as soon as I step on the throttle, basically no one can keep up with me. That wasn't good from the Ferrari, but he's still quite a bit in front of me. Oh, I missed this corner. Half a second. Let's see how much is gonna be my drive for down this straightaway compared to the Ferrari. 2/10 already gained.
Fastest ever in a race. Great job.
The leader is escaping away. That sideways twitch did not need to happen. Oh, my apex there again. Ah, come on. I'm missing all the apexes.
We are at the halfway mark. Still a long way to go.
That's 5 minutes, my dude. Again, half a second back. It will take longer, and he knows a bit that I'm coming. I don't think I will get an overlap this time around. Hey, it was a 10th faster lap. Okay, the MUQU has just spun behind. I mean, I don't know if he has spun, but like the gap suddenly went up. He's actually escaping slowly from me. I was not able to live on it.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 3. Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
But I am going actually faster than qualifying. And then I miss also turn on. Something has just ripped loose, I'm pretty sure, in my rig. I don't know what. And I just dropped a massive amount of time. Need to check that in between.
Okay, leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
42.9 from the Ferrari in front. I said that guy should be leading the race, but like he got shuffled at the start there. Fortunately, I was not able to get by him. And yeah, some brave soul driving the absolute shitbox Nissan. I mean, he's also 7 seconds behind us. And then 17 seconds to P6. Yeah, there's a decent field spread, you could say. And the MUQU behind me is actually running me down a bit. That might get interesting in a race too. I'm not sure to have a podium.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
One car got itself disqualified even. Maybe I should have used more rewards brake bars.
Leader has finished the race.
43 to 2 from the cars in front.
Mate, well managed all the way through.
Right, let's pull over. Alright, so baby. Into P3, but well, I have to see. Let's just briefly do some maintenance. Rig. I want to also switch the recording off. Right. I also don't need the spreadsheet here. Okay. We have another race still to go. So, but I will be briefly just checking on the rig again to make sure that nothing actually broke. Yeah, I don't know what. Definitely something moved, and I don't know what. So I'm gonna check that. That can stay on. This has to be off. Right. Also, fuck me that my face is sweaty as all hell. Verda heiß Ventilator. Okay. I think I will put the other facial interface on. I didn't check how much fuel I actually had left at the end of the race. So. Right then. Keyboard, there's keyboard. So. And back. So. Let's hope there's less drive-throughs for me. Did this guy get like a drive-through or something in that race? Also, we had only the top 10 out of 415 cars finish. Guys, come on. It wasn't that long of a race. You know? It was not that long. So, 91 liters into the tank. Okay, slight tweaks on the setup just to perhaps get it to turn a bit more. Oh, it's Alex Parkin. Ah, he's running. Right, okay. Let's briefly check again. We have everything.
20 seconds.
So, ignition, starter. Wait a second. Oh, I know what is. Now I know what the hell's happening.
Stay double file.
Because I was wondering, like, what broke, and I think it is one of the. Because I was experimenting to figure out what broke, and like I couldn't figure it out, but and it seems that my the up beam, the second beam that goes to the back, those have ripped free at the back. The beam that goes from the pedal deck along the rig down to the other end, those have ripped free, which makes the wheel deck loose. That is bad. Like, really bad. No wonder my pace kind of like dropped off immediately, but I couldn't pinpoint what was the problem. And also me like just experimenting with stuff around wasn't like figuring out what the problem was.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Bad reaction from me. The MUQU didn't react as fast this time around.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I don't know what happened to the MUQU, he suddenly just went rally crossing. Again, now I have a clue what ripped loose. So I guess it is time to then finally reinforce my rig. I'm probably not gonna race this weekend anyway. I don't have an enduro for it. Yeah, this is it's a bit absurd in some ways. The flex that I'm getting. Ah. That wasn't good. That wasn't in the slightest. Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, this rig flex is really bad. But this would mean that like two points have failed simultaneously, because this thing is mounted on two sides. We have obviously this beam. I mean, this is the up beam over here. And there was always flex in the wheel deck a bit. But the fact that I've ripped it off with a T300 is... At least I did it with a T300 before I bought a DD wheel, because DD would have immediately destroyed it effectively. There would have been no survivors. Yeah, I'm falling back really quickly from these two guys in front. They're just way too quick now, and I didn't have the pace really in race 1 to begin with, and I don't think I will have it in race 2 either. Look, hello, could I kindly not die? Yeah, my lap time is terrible also, I need to get to 44th back. Hello? Could I kindly not die? It would be mildly appreciated if I could not die for the chicane. Thank you, but no thank you. Not surprising, these guys are actually going good pace and I'm not. Also, I'm probably carrying a bit more fuel than I need. It's an understatement. Just focus again, Lucas. You've driven with broken equipment before. This is harmless in comparison to some of the shit I've done. Like driving with broken brake and throttle pedals. And we're only half responsive anymore. Driving with like a throttle pedal that had a clutch spring in it that was broken, so I had to mash the throttle down hard to make sure it was actually fully pressed down. It was also incredibly heavy. Yeah, 43, 7 and 8 from the cars in front. I'm starting to actually match them again, but it's just I massively dropped time, and we're driving against actually half competent drivers. Jesus, the flex that I just had there mid corner, because I put some load there onto the top of the steering wheel, so the rig bent there backwards a bit. I mean, if they fight each other, then I might be able to get something out of it, but they need to fight a lot. And I have a feeling the Ferrari might be running quite a bit of wing on it. I'm stuck in no man's land in the end. Nissan behind can't do anything about me. And the Ferrari and MUQU are just too fast for me. So I'm just stuck here. Waiting for the laps to tick down. Oh well, this will be a mildly boring race. As long as I stay on the road. The bigger question will be if my rig lasts till the end. Or if it completely breaks down before the end. It would be unfortunate because I actually wanted to drive the Ferrari. Test drive it for the Indy 24 hours of oNiD. Fortunately, it seems I might not be able to do that. Like, hopefully the rig holds up enough that I can just do a shakedown briefly. Because that's all I want right now. Just see if the setup is half decent, if the car handles like a car. And if that does, then I can set up the entry and everything, and then I can start repairs on my rig tomorrow. It's 43.5 from the leader.
Falling behind in the car in front in sector 3.
I'm going 45s. Yikes. Don't think this is enough actually to get into the 43s for me. Or is it? Yes! 43. Although it's the first time. I've done mid 43s before on race 1. But we still have over halfway to go in this race and I've already got the car below a 43. Below a 45. So there's that.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Also the Ferrari is breaking away from the MUQU in front even. Nearly 10 seconds ahead of me. And over 2 seconds ahead of the MUQU. If I make this corner finally. Apparently that sign doesn't have collisions anymore. Maybe the second MUQU can finally catch back up. I think he's about 16s? No, that's not a MUQU, that's another Nissan. I think we're maybe down to 8 cars at this point, or what? That would be pretty unfortunate. Maybe we get to lap the... No, but they're down to 9 cars. So it seems we've also lost the second MUQU. No, there is a 10th car. There's Taylor actually. Scored about 40 seconds ahead of us. I mean, there were quite a few AMRs that I've signed up, but nobody actually turned up with one. We had a MUQU stepping up in front, 43.2 from him. He's starting to slightly close in. I'm just like hopeless. Alright, so I just got... That will be another podium to my like massive podium collection. Don't know what my podium statistic on SGP is, but I have, I think, a 50% top 5 statistic or something like that. Granted, driving in GT4 helps a lot, but still 50% off, so top 5 is like... Well, the problem is every result that is outside of the top 5 usually ends up being outside of the top 10, 15. 10, 15 is like... Not top 20 then suddenly. I mean, the cars behind are lapping 45s right now, mid to high, all of them. I'm still going about a second per lap faster than them. This is a very unfortunate no man's land that I ended up in. Granted, we have here also the situation that, like, I think those two are pretty decently skilled drivers. Probably under normal circumstances a bit quicker than me. But yeah, you have those two driving in probably the two best cars. Because they're relatively new still. Compared to me driving in honestly not too bad Reiter. It's not doing too badly on this track. Probably in large part because there is barely any high-speed corners. It's kind of like its main disadvantage. It just cannot handle high-speed stuff. It's slow to medium, it's fine with. It's not great, but it's good enough with it, so you don't need to complain about it. Yeah, the other Reiter has actually dropped now behind the lead battle with also another car. So we're gonna come up to lapping the other Reiter driver. The pain is that these screws are in the back there. When they rip loose there, they're really a pain. They probably hit the heads of those screws halfway only. Like I feel this is a longer race than the 6 hours. We at least get some lapped cars entertainment now. Coming soon up. But yeah, what I wanted to say is, like, I'm pretty sure those screws in the back there are rounded. The heads of them. I was pretty shit with when constructing the first parts of the rig. And even with later parts, it didn't get particularly too much easy to not round off some heads of these screws. I bought extra, like, a pack of, like $20 or so long screws for this rig, and like I've used all of them up nearly. But yeah, something. Man, those guys are slow. They lapped the 50 last time around, both of them. Like that's a bit of a yikes. Maybe they've sustained some damage, probably not. We're dealing with an old Nissan and a Reiter. Probably driven by a fairly amateur driver, so slow car plus slow driver. Acre is going very slow. Although I would like to see their relative pace when they drive something a bit more normal. Because that's an interesting question, right? Usually when you like advise new drivers on like what cars to drive and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter really, like your car choice. And it's like, maybe it does. You know, like sure, does it matter if he picks a Bentley or a McLaren? On M4 on a certain track. It's like, no, not really. There's probably not gonna be much difference in pace between those three. He checked up for that. Like he could have for sure forced this issue. Yeah, no reason to slow actually down. But I mean, he's not some. He's a gentleman driver, most likely. Comparison to me, he was like, it would have been interesting to like pass him on track and flex my actual speed. Oh man, these guys are slow. But hey, if they're having fun, they're having fun. And they're not getting in my way. Or anybody else's, really. Having those guys on the grid is better than having nobody on the grid.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
So there's that. Taylor is actually in the pits. I've never noticed this like snorkel coming into the cockpit of the car. That's cute. I mean, I assume the entire air scoop is just that snorkel and not actually doing anything else. Because there's a slight air scoop on the top of the car, but like, I don't think there's like a channel for it to go to the engine bay. At least you can't see one from the inside of the car. Well, there probably is. But this is like effectively just a small snorkel to let some air into the cockpit. To cool the driver down. Thanks! Because I got the urge to sneeze, I missed my braking point. Yes, I know I sneezed later, but that's my point. I got the urge. Which confused me. Well, P7 is further up the order at least. Hey, Taylor's actually out on track again. I mean, he wasn't doing that badly in race 1, so I don't know why he's having such a ragged time. Hi, what kind of helmet do you use? What do you mean with helmets? Do you mean my VR headset? I'm using a Valve Index. Do you mean like an actual helmet? Like, no, I don't use one. It's a simulator I'm driving. I don't need a helmet, but if you mean the in-game helmet, which design? Okay, I would finish the sentence. Valve Index, I answered. But I mean, yes, quite a decent delay. It seems to be a very bad delay, I think, today, specifically. I know it's usual to have some delay, because I'm not running on, like, ultra low latency, just for slightly better YouTube encoding. Because it's not quite worth it, but yeah. I mean, you can ask me questions about it. I'm not under any pressure in this race. Relatively boring one, unfortunately. Guys in front have escaped ahead. And the guys behind can't keep up with me. So yeah. It's a 40-minute race. There's 30 minutes gone on it, and about 20 seconds behind the car in front, and about 15 seconds ahead of the other car. I mean, in part, the reason why I can't keep up with the guys in front is because I'm driving a Reiter and they're driving the non-evil MUQU and Ferrari, which just... they're still very good cars. Actually driven 488 not too long ago. Yes, thank you. Yeah, right. So you just came to check in what Chad said. Okay, fine. Come on! The pedal shifter just didn't want to engage there. There was no click from it. This has happened before when like my steering was at an angle. I struggle to push the pedal shift down. Maybe also because now my wheel deck is broken right now. That's not helping. Most likely to get the right angle on it, but that switch is also worn out, it seems. It is working still about 99% of the time. Actually 99.9% of the time nearly. But it is failing occasionally on me. It's a bit annoying in such situations. Actually, focus on your braking, because there seems to be actually a bit of a battle for P1 going on. Those two are running very close together. The Ferrari has in phases like the better pace, but like those two have really delivered each other a drag race there. They are absolutely not letting each other go there. The MUQU won race 1. The Ferrari actually put the car on pole, so he had lost the pole position in race 1. Race 2 he had actually stayed in the lead. And in a phase of the race he was actually running away a bit from the MUQU. But the MUQU seems to have caught back up. Not been able to do such. Pace is just a bit too high for that. I don't know. Wait a second, I thought I saw something driving ahead of me. I'm now hallucinating, okay, great. Oh, it seems both the Nissan and the other Reiter are in the pits. Dropping now 2 laps down in a 40-minute race. It's a bit of a yikes from both of them. Maybe they even retired.
There's a car exiting pit lane.
No. It seems those two want to fight with each other. They're buddies, it seems. And the Reiter got a 30-second stop, go from pit speeding. Really easy to do on this truck. Really easy stuff. How many laps do we have to still do?
That's the time of the car in front in sector 3.
I see the admin actually cleared the penalties of the Reiter. I'm not like they're fighting for anything. They're actually still ahead of Taylor in the MUQU. He must have had a horrid race here. Just lapping high 44s. Low 44s, sorry. Now I'm going towards low 45s. Oh, even my brakes work. Cold breeze. Because it would be really nice if it finally like cooled down a bit outside. It's just so stupidly hot. Unfortunately it seems we won't get any rain soon either. Garden is like just barren desert at this point. It's basically running out of water for supplying it. I mean, we could use water out of the tap, but like... it's not stuff we do. Right, locking at the end there. I'm actually matching the guys in front, so funnily enough. The relative gaps are like just completely confused of what to do. Times. Like they shot up to like 50 seconds ahead and then went back down. While my overlay showed them consistently. Ah, that's gonna... No, just about avoid a gravel trap. I think we have 2 laps to go. Nah, we have more than 2 laps. 3 laps. With this one. And I'm finally, like... I like this track, I like the car, it's just, I feel really drained after this. I think it's the weather in parts, the lack of like action. It's just, I don't have enough adrenaline in my system to keep me going. And I'm looking too much on the clock. Time is passing slowly.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Yeah, this was Taylor again, however. Not for the guys in front. Right. They do have more than enough time to actually start another lap. They're nearly 30 seconds ahead of me, so... I mean, you could collectively slow down, but like, I think both of I think the Ferrari probably would like to not do an extra lap, but the MUQU definitely wants to, so... Not like the Ferrari has much of a choice in that situation.
Leaders on final lap.
Yep, as I predicted. There's one more lap. For all of us, yes. Although they would have actually like had to slow down quite a bit. With 7 seconds or so. Still. But we have more than enough fuel. At least that's the thing. I have 4 laps of fuel remaining right now. Gonna easily get to the end.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Ferrari is still seemingly ahead. Although the gap is basically nothing.
Leader has finished the race.
Ferrari seemingly dropped a lot of time on that final lap, but he seems to just about have clutched it. Might be interesting to look at the replay for a moment after we finish. Which happens only like 30 seconds behind.
Excellent job, mate. P3, we're on the podium. Now bring it back home safely.
Right then. Done. Well, how do our tires look? If you look at them. Oh well. Set 1 was in practice, set 2 was in qualifying, I think. Set 3, I think was in qualifying. Set 4 has some light graining on the rear tires, but not much wear. Set 5 has significant amounts of wear and light graining on the rears. Set 6 has no light graining on the rears. Set 6 might be the race set. Race 1 set. Oh, we could probably save the set, even though it doesn't make much difference, in all honesty. It's barely any different. So let's just check actually briefly the finish between these two. We probably don't have the time to actually watch the full lap. The session will likely transition before that. Let's just warp halfway into the lap. Uses all of the track and then some. Closing in slowly. Uses a lot of curb on the entry there. But the car did not unsettle. And putting now the pressure on the Ferrari. The extra speed. Uses some grass even there. Ferrari holds it. Holds the apex. He's a bit squirrely out of the final corner though. I don't think it will be enough. The MUQU is starting to get a run a bit. But it's not enough. He only draws alongside the rear axle and that's it. There was some pretty decent driving from those two. Also we wanted to figure out what the fuck happened on lap 1. The guy behind us. The Maubai. There I am. Oh, he lost inputs. We were lucky actually here. Insanely lucky. We were insanely lucky here. He discoed. Oh, holy shit.
Green light, give it all you can.
Ah, alright then. I think I'm gonna quit. But yeah, that guy just... It's odd, like he lost his controls and then disconnected while rolling across the grass. It's strange stuff. We're starting to get, I think, actually rain now. Some raindrops falling. Right, I need to actually select Indianapolis and then we're gonna do a couple practice laps on there. Start session. Just to see some stuff. Right, but I'm gonna have to probably close the window slightly down before that. Nah, I think I'm fine. Although my window over my bed is, I think, wide open. I'm gonna check briefly on the rig again. Oh man, that's oh. This screw has gone loose. So, I've actually found out the issue of the problem. Finally. But it's in some ways gonna be not that much fun to fix it. Well. Actually, I put my keyboard far away. Come on, give me my keyboard. Thank you. Yeah, stuff the cable back. We're gonna calibrate in a second, but I just need to briefly. Well, okay. So, and I need to switch the pellet cam on, then I can showcase where I found the issue. It took me a while to actually figure out where the fuck the problem is. Like, I was assuming it was, I can actually see it now. I was assuming that it was, this back beam here's, the mounting point back there. And I just knocked the screw off like an idiot. Literally placed the broken off screw there. Right, give me a sec. Alright, I have it again. I thought it was back there. Then I thought it was like, okay, it could be like the mirror side of these like back beams back there. I have another one, obviously on the front to hold the pedal deck up. I thought that one broke. No, that one seemed fine. Like, there's flex in it, sure, but like, that's fine. I figured out actually the problem, and that is these two beams are here, mounted from the other side, screwed together with a screw. And, well, this is the screw. or what effectively is left of it, because it broke off like this. That is... It's actually a really clean rip, in all honesty. It is still a bit sharp. But yeah, that is in some ways scary, because... And I think it seems that the other side one isn't particularly doing much. That is going actually loose. There's more the wood giving up more than anything. It's actually a bit sad, because this screw has not actually been rounded that much, but it's dead. It's been destroyed. So I have to replace it, actually. And I'm gonna most likely replace the other side as well for a bit more stability. I guess it gives the idea of like where like the up down. I mean, you can see actually like the stuff happening with my like the up down movement of my pedal out of my wheel deck, and that is actually harmless, what you can see in the camera. But still, that is really not good that that's broke off like that. But we can fix it. Well then, I'm gonna turn a few laps with this car. Just making sure this setup works while we are having some rain outside. It's fine, I have it close enough that it shouldn't rain in. Especially over my beds. Let me put the screw down. But yeah, that screw snapped there. I mean, probably the sound wasn't audible on stream, but like I could hear it. And it's definitely not something that I want to happen again. Right then. He did suggest, like, I think lowering the ride height by something like 5 clicks or so. Man is coming down, I guess. Someone looking for a loop companion. Well, where do we have again this chat here? For front by 6 and rear by 5. Okay. 58 front, 70 rear. Okay. How much fuel's in the car? I want a decent fuel load. And put brake pads 2 on there. I mean, the tire pressure's probably on quite right. Yeah, it is very loud, the rain. I should probably close the window just for audio's sake, but... Or maybe in general to stop it from raining in. Well, we found this area, I guess. I'm pretty sure I collided with the wall here while I wasn't looking. How long do we have repairs? Ooh, that is a lot of repair for just bumping a wall at about 40k. That is a bit bullshit, I would say. Although I haven't seen what actually happens. Let's watch myself. What happens? So we slowly start drifting to the right. 33k. And we're gonna boop these walls here. Yeah, I mean, it is completely overblown to have like 13 seconds worth of damage from like booping a wall. Right, what tire should be fun? Yeah, decently like this, I guess. Without probably not driving it right. There's some odd oversteer on this. Probably you need to use that to rotate the car, really. First time taking that corner actually flat out, because GT4s you have to lift slightly. It seems GT3s do not struggle at all with it. Maybe the brake. But then I have to also create a livery for this thing. I would hope to get like a 37 or so together. Sausage cup on the inside is quite vicious. It seems the rain has actually outside stopped already again.
Well done, mate. That's all nice.
37.808. That's for first flyer, not too terrible. A few things definitely to improve. I mean, this isn't quite true race pace. Ah, that one actually slower somehow. It's a really weird skid that it does. Where you just enter a four-wheel slide where when you start rotating the car, the rear end just sends the car into a four-wheel slide and you just drift off the track. It's really not optimal. Barely an improvement, actually.
Well done, mate. This has been your muscle race.
Just noticed that I have the track map for some reason enabled. I do not remember enabling the track map. But okay. I didn't even notice it during the last race. Exit out of that section is really important. More important than anything else. Really. It's actually a bit early on the brakes. Time gains and time losses seem a bit random at times.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
I can brake later actually. Starting to actually get the rhythm of this thing. That wasn't the best exit either. And too late on the brakes, I guess. We're gonna miss out on the 35. Just
Well done, mate.
36.03. Red with black text is really hard to read. Delta is really hard to decipher. But I would say that's enough. We know the car works. We do know the car works. That is enough for now. I'm gonna get out of this rig, get out of these clothes. Like, just calm down and relax. And then tomorrow fix my stuff. Oh, I've put my controllers way too far away, fuck. I need to charge my controllers badly. They're pretty out of charge. And let me just lean in instead of sitting down again. I'm just gonna do it like this. It's a bit difficult. I can still get my leg in. Hehe. And then I won't have a race, I think, this weekend. We have a 24-hour race next week. Well, that's what is planned with this car, at least. So there's that. We have obviously SRXP going on again on Tuesday. I may do another like morning hangover ring. That might be pretty decent with my Maserati. Might be, haven't seen yet. What I might be consider doing is another Monday morning race with the Sim Racing 604 guys. Monday light race, MX5 Cups at Valunga in AC. That sounds somewhat interesting. And I have a double win to defend from the previous race with the MX5, so I should probably do that. Well then, I need to get offline. I need to do some more coding. I can look now at the telemetry that I collected from the race 1 to see, to reconstruct a leaderboard perhaps out of it. Although my coding speed has been so dramatically slow that I don't think I will be done until the end of the weekend, so... Well then, bye-bye. Oh yeah, unfortunately you did miss the stream.